Alright guys, I'm new at doing this. I've never done this before, so I'm going to get right to it. Hold on for 1 second. There we go. Now, this is going to be what if in Naruto, if the Sage's 6 paths didn't undo reanimation, jutsu. Now he said I will re-undo the reanimation after Kaguya got sealed. But what if it was reversed? What if he said everything I've done was wrong. I should have chosen both as successors. My choices is what caused this mess up until now. And to make things right, before I fade away, I'm going to perform Ghetto Sage Art of Rine Rebirth Jutsu. But before that, if Orochimaru reanimated Kushina, he took DNA from Kushina, because there was no way that Karin would be able to use the same chains that Karin used to pin down the Nine Tails. It's 16 years ago when Naruto was a baby. So in other words, if the Sage's 6 paths used Ghetto Sage Art of Rine Rebirth Jutsu and brought them back, he would correct everything, give the Kage another chance to clean this up. And Hashirama would talk some sense into Tobirama to never again slight the Uchiha in any other way or slight any other people that is the same as them. To get peace and stability and correct his mistake of letting all shinobi become corrupted and using ninjutsu to kill people, while other ninjas used ninjutsu to help people. As the future had progressed, where the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki lost their lives. What if he corrected that? What if he brought them back? Naruto would get to have his parents back, and the way that they looked before, they would have their age back. And as he's 16, they can age and progress as it regularly should be. If the Sage of 6 Paths did that, and what if he corrected his actions before he left after using the Ghetto Sage Art of Rine Rebirth Jutsu and brought peace to Indra and Ashura inside Sasuke and Naruto. So that way the fighting feud would stop and the hatred would subside. Sasuke would return to normal. Now do keep in mind, this is my version of it, and I don't really, do anything like this. But I feel that would most definitely be like the #1 thing, because if you look at it on a different scale, and he just undid the reanimation jutsu, the Kage wouldn't learn their lessons. Now they saw what their past mistakes were, but they weren't able to correct them. They were only able to show what they did in the past and what led up until now, but it didn't change anything. It only took a few years later for the new Kage to start a whole new generation. But if Hashirama, Tobirama, Lord Third, and Lord Fourth, to clean up their past mistakes. Now, don't get me wrong. If he did that, he would have the other half of Ninetales inside of him. So if you picture that on a ultimate scale, but even though he gave that other part of the Ninetales to Naruto, but even if he didn't, that was actually awesome. I think that would most definitely be the best thing that could happen, because it would change everything. They'd live up to their past mistakes and could correct them. Not to mention the reanimation. Pakura was the greatest hero of the Sand. The Sand betrayed her, used her as a bargaining chip for the hidden mystic kill, and then blamed it on the hidden stone. That was their folly, but not the hidden leaves. So you see where I'm going with? And as such, that is the end on this part. Now let's get to another part after this, because now here's another one that I have for what if Itachi told Sasuke everything when Sasuke went to the Uchiha hideout to kill him, and he told Sasuke everything. And then Sasuke would go ahead and take that chance to get everything in certain order. And what if Itachi was still alive after that, and Sasuke spared him? What if Itachi let Sasuke get revenge on the Hidden Leaf for what they did to Itachi and to the whole Uchiha clan? Because Itachi was all about self-sacrifice. The Hidden Leaf was at the forefront of his mind. I've heard from other people and to their reactions and in comments talking about that the Uchiha did deserve to die. No, they did not fucking deserve to die. So all you other YouTubers out there, get that through your skulls, because the one and like the one I was telling you about for Tobirama to no longer slight the Uchiha and change his ways, what he did in the past was, after Madara was dead, well, they thought he was dead, everything was smooth sailing. All the other Uchiha that cared and supported the Hidden Leaf was restricted out of the governing body in the Leaf. They could not be Hokage. He would never let that happen, even when they proved themselves worthy and had an Uchiha in his group of ninja. When they figured out the ones tracking them was of the Kinkaku unit, he did not show them any care. He gave them the police force. But not only did that happen, but it ended up making them into the Senju's lackeys. He took away everything, and all the other Hidden Leaf people followed his lead. They believed it was a good thing. And when it came to the Nine Tails attack, it was Toby's doing. Not the hidden leaves, though they didn't know it was Toby at the time. They didn't even know who it was. But they put suspicions towards the Uchiha, and they kicked them out of the village to the outskirts of them, making them sheltered, domesticated, and put under strict surveillance from the Anbu. And during at this time, Tobirama was long dead, but they carried out their will. The ones who lived through it, it was the two advisors, Amura and Koharu, Donzo, and Kagami Uchiha, and Donzo. Though Kagami did die later on, but the ones was still alive was Hamura and Koharu, Donzo, and the third Hokage. But the third Hokage was alive during the Nine Tails attack, and he knew the Uchiha were innocent. But with the three other elders, like him, did not listen, and they blamed the Uchiha, and therefore the Uchiha went rogue. They felt betrayed. They were betrayed, and they decided to do a coup d'état because they felt like they weren't that they were not treated well, in which they weren't from the very beginning, and decided to do the coup d'état. Now the one who truly fucked up everything was Danzo Shimura. If he only just believed in Shizui could have stopped the coup d'état before it would have happened, and would have kept the Uchiha alive. Shizui Uchiha's Koto Amatsukami, who would make them forget about it, and then thus change it all. But Donzo had to go and fuck up everything. And that is where the folly of the Uchiha came. So Itachi had no other choice but to slaughter the whole Uchiha clan or side with them and then die, plus Sasuke. But he took the gamble to make sure that Sasuke would live. Now what if Sasuke and Itachi had survived? I'm going back to that. What if he told him everything? They took back Shizui's eye. And they managed to find Shizui's body where the Uchiha burial was, because they got back his body for sure. And what if and Sasuke absorbed Orochimaru? Now if he still had the curse mark with him and Itachi didn't take that from him, Sasuke could perform the reanimation jutsu. He would just have to go back to one of Orochimaru's hideouts to find it. And if he did, he could bring back his Shizui. And then what if they figured out, what if Itachi told Sasuke who the original pain is? because Itachi could use Koto Amatsukami on the enemies as a diversion, while Sasuke would awaken the Mangekyu, his Sharingan, through deep emotional, because he found his parents dead and the loss of his parents, and to remember back when they were slaughtered, when the Hidden Leaf elders made Itachi do it, would awaken it. He would have Orochimaru's chakra and powers. Now, all he would need to do is take out the 6 pains, find Nagato, and then thus burn him and kill him. In doing so, he would go and then reanimate Nagato. Since he would be a reanimation, he can perform Gedo Seijardo Rine Rebirth Jutsu, which he would be able to take that reanimation to the Uchiha's village. Get back the whole entire clan by reanimating them, and then take them as an army, and then let Itachi take out Tobi with the Tsukuyomi, because Itachi only has to take one flick of his wrist, one finger, without doing anything. He can just activate it instantly, and Tobi would be trapped in it. Also, by stopping Tobi, they would go deep into the hideout and get the Uchiha their eyes back, because Tobi, without a doubt, took all the Uchiha's eyes. If you watched after where Sasuke killed Danzo, you would see all the eyes in every motherfucking tank, with that kind of serum to keep them from decaying and deteriorating. They could get back their eyes once they would use Nagato to use Gedo Seijardo Rine Rebirth Jutsu to revive them, because their reanimated bodies has their souls in it. And all Sasuke has to do is go and kill a whole bunch of people, and by doing so, use them as living sacrifices, or let Itachi cast them under the Tsukuyomi, and then let that happen. And then if Sasuke finds another set of Sharingan, then he could go ahead and then transplant them into his own, thus saving his eyes, so he could obtain the eternal Mangekyu. Then that would be sufficient, and then he'd be able to cast multiple people, or perhaps when Sasuke would go to the Hidden Leaf and cast that many people to bring back the Uchiha, and then just use them that way. That they need a living sacrifice, not a dead one. Now, forgive me, I messed up on that one. But if they did, you're talking about the rebuilding of the whole Uchiha clan. Like I said, they thought Toby was dead, but he took the identity of Madara because as a kid he met the actual Madara. Madara outlived Hashirama for 70 years. Don't get me wrong. I think Madara was in his 30s or something. And 70 years later, he's like over 100. And so old and having himself attached to the ghetto statue. Now, that is there. So, if you think of it this way, what if that were to happen, and the hidden leaf would be fighting them? You're talking about every single Uchiha against the hidden leaf. Now, Tsunade might summon fucking Katsuyu, but Katsuyu absorbs all of Lady Tsunade's power. The Uchiha can use all the fire style fireball jutsus all together, and they can channel it all into one. Every single highly skilled Uchiha can do that because they're on Jonin class. And with Sasuke's combination of the Amaterasu with their fire-style fireball jutsus, Katsuyu won't stand a chance and would die, or sent back to her dimension. And all the Uchiha would get their revenge on the hidden leaf. Sasuke would get his revenge by using the reanimation jutsu and taking all of them out. Now the reanimation jutsu, it does have no weaknesses whatsoever, but one fatal flaw only. By manipulating the caster with genjutsu and having him weave the hand signs to undo the reanimation jutsu. It's not a weakness, it is a flaw. So all of you guys are saying that is a weakness. It is not. And Itachi was a damn fool. And even killing the caster won't even stop that. Won't even stop that jutsu. So if they killed Sasuke or Itachi, it won't even matter. And those reanimations will keep coming back. And there's no one who can wield the light and dark style because all the tail beasts hasn't been taken yet. Now I'm getting there with that. What if the other Hidden Leaf members came back and then saw the whole Hidden Leaf destroyed? They could just take everyone. They could try and take the Uchiha on. But Sasuke, and I know Sasuke's character very well, he would not have them brought back with the Gedo Seijaro Rine Rebirth Jutsu just yet. Because he would know Kakashi and the others are out on their mission and would come back. And if they brought him back, Kakashi can just take them all fucking out with his lightning blade plus Chidori. And he can use the Mangekyo Sharingan to suck things in and suck in weapons that's coming towards him. But one thing and one thing only. Naruto has learned Wind-style wrestling Shuriken and can go into Sage mode. Now, if he used the Wind-style wrestling Shuriken, their fire style will work. So in other words, Naruto's gonna fucking fail. Big time. and Sakura won't do anything because she won't kill Sasuke. So the one she's gonna go after is Itachi, but she knows full well he can use Koto Matsukami. He can use the Tsukuyomi. So she would look down at his feet to attack him. But the moment that would happen, Sasuke would have already killed her before it would ever happen. Because Sasuke would realize the truth about Itachi, the truth about everything, and how he couldn't bring himself to kill his younger brother because he made the promise to his parents before he killed them. Sasuke would know that very well, so he would not let anyone kill his brother, his family, in which Sasuke would also reanimate his mother and father. And not only that, they could ultimately take over the Hidden Leaf. Now, truthfully, I believe that is truly what should have been done. Tobirama screwed up everything, all because he was afraid of an Uchiha becoming the next Madara. No one was powerful as Madara all the years that came later. Madara was so powerful. But even as he lost Hashirama, and all you other YouTubers who are anime fans of Naruto, Hashirama truly was never powerful than Madara. He was powerful with his jutsu, but not extremely powerful because he did not have the ultimate intelligence that he would have needed to stop Madara. Madara was able to read the whole damn Uchiha, the stone tablet. He was able to read it all. He only told Hashirama a little piece of it. When two chakras collaborate together, one can find true peace. Hashirama took that the other way. He decided to make unions, combined nations into one to collaborate and find happiness. And Madara knew what he was doing. He could have fought. He said himself, reanimated. He was the only one able to see through that ruse. So, which means he knew it was a wood style all along. He just played along because if Hashirama and the others were to think he was dead, Madara could do all the shit he wants and would make bullshit to anyone who ever tried, and doing it in secret, which he did. But he also took one single present before he collapsed, and he bit up a piece of Hashirama's flesh, and he used a forbidden jutsu, faking his death by creating the forbidden jutsu of the Izanagi, which took one of his eyes and caused it to go blind. And then soon that clone, who after it would be buried, it disappeared after they had done the burial, and then long left. Madara left. He barfed up Hashirama's skin, and then he attached it to the wound he got, and then he got the Rinnegan. He was able to do all that just to fulfill his dream. but his dream was a bit extreme, actually. And his eyes truly awakened where he got the Rinnegan, and then hooked himself up to the Geto statue, and the Hashirama cells went through it. Now, the part of the Uchiha is a little bit extreme, but I had to break it to you guys. The future one's who's halfly strong. Halfly, but nowhere near as strong as Madara. And that goes to show a lot in all the jutsu he had up his sleeve. But yeah, the ones that were furthest stronger was Shizui and Itachi and Itachi's father. Those were the only ones who had highly skilled jutsu. Itachi's father had the power to freely control the Nine Tails. And Shizui's power had the ultimate genjutsu. Itachi's jutsu was a genjutsu that he could freely manipulate within a timescape. Well, that's all for today, guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and if you like all the news I broke to you and put it down into the furthest way, since it's my first time, I freely enjoy you. I will freely enjoy if you hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe. And I'm out.